Guys, welcome back to Lola's YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Lola and I film about lifestyle, faith, motherhood and all the good stuff in between. So this video is basically about goals, and when I mean goals, I mean passing your driving test. So I recently passed my driving test in the United Kingdom, so I am a full license holder. I'm trying to look around for my license. So yeah, I'm a full license holder. That means that I am allowed to drive in the United Kingdom. So if this is your goal for the year, you've been trying, or you have somebody who wants to, who wants to pass their test, who wants to take the test or whatever around driving test, please send this video to them. And if you are one, please sit back, relax and enjoy. So for your information, a few days ago, maybe like a week or two, I passed my practical test, and to count it all, it was the following day after my birthday. So it was such a beautiful experience on the 22nd of May. Oh my god. And I've done it a couple of times and I did not pass. Now I do not want to say the amount of time I've done it. Why? I mean, it's nothing special. After all, I've passed, but I don't want to discourage anybody, most importantly, because as much as people will say it doesn't matter if you say, the thing is, the rate at which I've seen people get influenced by what they hear on social media, I am scared. And for me, I'm all about positive influence, not negative influence. I don't want to instill fear. I don't want you to doubt yourself for whatever reason. Okay, so I did it a couple of times before I passed. Okay, and eventually I passed. Good news, grateful, thankful, thank God. Okay, so what I just want to talk about what I did differently, and what I think made me pass. And the first things first is that, or maybe let me even first start with practical test. What is practical test? For people that probably are just coming into the UK, or you want to come into the UK, before you can drive in the United Kingdom, you need to have passed two tests: your theory test and your practical. So your theory test, you write it, it's like an exam. Okay, you go to their center nearest to you and then you write the exam. I think it's about, I can't remember how much it is, but I think it's about maybe £23 or £32 or £30, something around that. Okay, so you book it and then you just go online, gov.uk, just say you want to book your theory test, put in your postcode and then you book it, and that is it. Like, and to the theory test, there are two main parts. We have the theory one proper, the first part, I don't know what it is called right now, but the second part of that theory test is called hazard perception. So the first part is where they ask you questions. Now I would recommend this app, which really helped me during my theory test, because as simple as it can be, some people do theory tests a couple of times and they find themselves failing. Some people, because they are not informed about what to expect. So it's called the theory test 4-in-1. I don't know if you can, that one. So it's theory 4-in-1, and I recommend, the way you can pass it is practice a lot. Practice a lot. You see, this idea of I've been driving for 20 years in Nigeria, or I've been driving a car for 40 years wherever I'm coming from, it's not going to work. Put that idea somewhere and help yourself to pass. Okay, help yourself like you are just learning how to drive. That is my advice for my sincere advice for you. I know you've been driving a lot, but that's not going to work here. The mode of driving, the rules you have to observe, everything is different. Okay, so put that idea aside and do as if you are now learning afresh. So that theory test, especially the question and answer part, the multiple choice part, I would advise that you practice a lot. Get used to the questions, do it a lot of times. This particular app, I think you are going to pay like, I think £4.99 for it, and that's £4.99, and it would, I don't think there's any other question that is apart from what is inside that app. And aside that, even if you say another question, the principles that you have learned from the questions you've answered, because it will do the explanation for you, it will help you to know how to answer new questions if you see them, if you get what I mean. So yeah, that is it. Then the hazard perception is like a practical part of the theory test. So it will play a video of probably you driving your car. I think we have about 14 clips, and then you will click when you see an hazard that you are meant to react to as a driver. So for instance, to show like you as a driver, it will not show you, it will show just like a car moving, and that is you driving, obviously. And if you see like an hazard, maybe a child playing in the street, or maybe some people, you are approaching a traffic light and some people want to press like cross the street, cross the road, and then they want to press like they are pressing this traffic light signal for them to pass. It helps you to see them ahead and then react quickly, because one of the important things about driving in the UK is safety, anticipating ahead, like so that you are not ash braking, you are not swerving your hands, yourself and the other people that are using the road are safe. All right, so they want to be sure that you are aware of what to do. So the things to react to, the things that the things you are meant to react to and all of that, they want to be sure that you know when to react. And of course, such a thing, if you click too much, it will cancel your points for that clip. So just be careful when you are clicking. Be sure that what you are clicking to is an important hazard. For instance, somebody crossing the road is an important hazard. You have to click that you are reacting to it. Okay, that will give you points. All right, so that being said, now I'm going to practical test. It's £62 at the moment, and you can also book yourself on gov.uk. Now, one of the things I will tell people is that do not drive yourself to your driving test center. Even if you put the L plates, even if everything is in place, do not drive yourself, because you are not meant to be driving alone. Okay, if your driving instructor is with you with your L plates, of course you can drive. Okay, your driving instructor is somebody who has been trained to be an instructor to you, not just any random person. Okay, so is it that somebody drives you there, or you drive there with your driving instructor sitting by your side? Do not drive there with yourself, by yourself in the car, because now I'm hearing stories of people not passing, and then they are really waiting for who is going to drive you home. So you enter the car and then you drive it, and they call the police and they seize your car. Okay, so do not drive yourself to the driving test by yourself. If you have to drive at all, let there be a driving instructor by your side. Okay, and of course your L plate, that's your learner plate, you have to put it at the front of the car and at the back of the car, and your extra mirror for your examiner. Those are the things that you prepare towards your practical test. Okay, so that being said, another thing that I would say is that practice mostly with the routes that you're going to be using for your test. You can download the app, test routes for you to, and you can also go on YouTube and just a lot of driving tests videos. You can write the name of the place. For example, Sunderland test route, and then it will show you like tons and tons of videos on Sunderland test route, Newcastle test route, all those things. Put the name of your town and then put the test route to show you videos. Also, there are other videos that they give you. For instance, the name of this lady, I think it's I'm trying to remember now, driving TV, and there is another Clearview driving. These guys do a lot of videos on tests, like practical tests, so you will know what your examiner is looking out for. What are they marking exactly? What are the things that they are marking you down for? Why have you been failing? What are they looking out for that they want you to observe while you are driving? So all these things you will see in those videos. So personally, I watch Clearview driving TV. You can also watch any other video that you think, you know, is very informative. Just be sure that it is not a contrasting information. Additionally, please, I would say get a driving instructor. It wouldn't do you any bad, even if it's like a couple of hours, and you know, let them teach you about the rules in the United Kingdom. Like I said, especially if you've been driving a lot in the country where you came from, it will do you a lot of good to at least have some hours with a trained driving instructor, so that they will tell you what to look out for. For instance, the 6-point check before you move, you know, emergency stop, all those things, your show me tell me questions. What else? They would, by every means, before you start your test, they will tell you to read like the plate number from afar. So all these things would be are the things that you will see or you will experience when you are doing your test. So don't be surprised, especially after watching this video. Do yourself a lot of good, you know, by watching this video and sending it to somebody who wants to pass their test. That is another thing. Then also, like I was saying, book with a driving instructor and at least practice for some hours. Practice your roundabout, practice your maneuvering, you know, approaching a roundabout. What are you supposed to look out for? How do you know which exit to go? All those things. How do you position yourself according to the exit you are going? All those things you need to know. You need to know, because it's all about safety. They don't want you to be in the way of another driver, changing your mind at the last minute or causing other people to brake harshly. Those are some of the things that made me fail. The other ones that I did, those are some of my mistakes. Causing other drivers to brake harshly, you know, and not choosing a good position in good time. You need to anticipate ahead. I'm sure that if you are watching this video and you have passed your test, anticipating ahead is one of the things that you need to do. You need to look forward to make a decision now. Okay, so it's a game of looking forward and looking near and looking closer and making solid decisions, so that you and other people around you that are road users are safe. Okay, so yeah, so practicing a lot with your driving instructor so that you know the rules of the game is very important. Also, personally, I also advise that you choose a good time for your test. Choosing a good time means that it's time that you are not probably stressed from work before going for your test, especially if maybe you have been trying a lot of times. Maybe choose a day that maybe you have rested a bit, maybe a time of your holiday before you go for your test, you know. Or for instance, you booked your test and you have a date ahead. You can have like a holiday. You can do it in the middle of your holiday so that you are well rested. Because it's a lot of work, it's a lot of calculation to do, you know. What other thing did I do? Yeah, I practiced a lot. With my driving instructor. I drove a lot with my instructor. That really helped me. And driving with your instructor is very good, because it's going to help you to, you have a lot of mock tests. In fact, the point, it even took me to a place that is not my driving route, so that I'm used to going into a new place. I'm used to, you know, just going into a new place, so that I'm not shocked if the regular test route that I know is not where they take me to, because your examiner can choose to take you anywhere. Okay, so, and of course with your test you would have the independent driving, where probably they will set a particular thing on your map and then you navigate with it by yourself, and then you get to a point where they will tell you, okay, now that's the end of the independent driving. I'll be the one telling you where to go now. And then after that, one of the things you also do is maneuvering. Your forward parking, your reverse parking, your parallel parking. Those three. You wish I do one, Nisha. Forward parking, reverse parking, parallel parking. You will do one. So make sure that you are good with your maneuvering, okay? And what else? Yeah, you're parking, and then they will tell you a lot of times within your test, park when it is safe to do so, and then from there move on when it is safe to do so. So they want to be sure that you can park safely and you can move on safely. Don't forget, for every time you stop and you have to move forward, you have to do a 6-point check. I don't want to go into details in this video. Have a test, you know, have a time with your driving instructor. And if you think I should probably do another video with details, maybe I will invite my driving instructor to do, because I mean, I might do some part and not do some part. So I want it to be a detailed video. Just let me know in the comment section. But I am so happy to do this video, and I hope that it is helpful to you. On your driving test day, please don't be late. Don't do it. Another thing on your driving test date, go along with your provisional license. Go along with your provisional license. Can I say that again? Go along with your provisional license. You will not do your test without it. Even if you have e-copy, go with the physical copy. You will not do your test without it. You will not. So please don't forget that part. Go along with your provisional driving license, because that is like your means of identity, and you cannot do your test without it. Okay. What else am I missing out? I think that's everything I really want to talk about. I hope it was helpful, and I hope that you gain 1 or 2 things. If you have any other points you want to add to it, please put it in the comment section. And if you have currently, or if you have recently passed your test as well, congratulations to us. You know, now we can drive safely around in the UK. There is nothing like it, guys. There is nothing like, you know, being able to drive around. It's so lovely. I don't know what, it's just so nice. And I'm always grateful to God. Like, when I think about it, like, I have passed, like, I am grateful to God all over again, because you just cannot do without driving, especially with a family. You want to do grocery shopping, you want to move from one place with a child. They will start school, you need to take the you just need it. You just need it. I was going through the goals I have for the year, and I saw that I had written my driving test, my practical test, and I ticked it off. I almost cried. I think it was because I was in public, that was why I couldn't cry. I almost cried. Like, I ticked it off. Like, wow. So yeah, I feel you. If you have been trying, I feel you. And trust me that, of course, don't forget to pray for favor, pray for a good person, you know, to be your driving instructor and all of that. And another thing I would also add is be comfortable with the car you want to use. Some people use their instructor's car and they are okay with it. Make sure that that car does not have any faults. Make sure that there is no warning signal, there is no light of concern on the dashboard, you know, engine lights, warning lights. I mean, when you put your car on, all those lights will come up automatically, but they will go off automatically as well. So make sure there is no light of concern on your dashboard. That is another thing. Make sure there is fuel in your, of course, make sure there is fuel in your car. Okay, check all the lights. Practice show me tell me questions on YouTube. I've not seen any funny question that they asked aside that show me tell me questions. They want to be sure that you know about your car. Okay, so show me, basically they could just ask you, show me where your engine oil is. How would you know the, you know, amount, like the right amount of fluid that is supposed to be in, you know. Show me where your brake oil is. Just show me, you know, things. They can tell you to open your bonnet and all those stuff. They can even say show me how to put your car on. It might be as stupid as that. You know, they want to be sure that you know about this car, because that's one of the safety questions. How will you be driving a car you don't know about? Like I said, their concern is safety. Okay, and also be aware. And okay, before I go to that, tell me questions. You know, they can say, tell me how will you know if your I wanted to say if your brain is slack. How will you know if your brake is okay? You know, it must not be spongy, and it must not be too hard. It must not be spongy. Okay, how would you know that your tire is good? What is the minimum tread is it tread level or something for your tire? So all those things they will ask you. So what did I want to say earlier? I knew I might forget. I knew I might forget. I can't remember now, but I'm just hungry and tired. So what else? I think that's actually it, if I'm not missing anything. There's actually something I wanted to say earlier that I am forgetting now. Just, and also wear comfortable shoes. Don't wear slippers. Nigerians, my fellow people, don't wear slippers to your driving test. Okay, pray for favor that you meet, you know, a kind person. And yeah, this is what I wanted to say. So also remember that there are minor faults, there are major faults, there are serious faults, and there are dangerous faults. You see, when you have any serious dangerous faults or major faults, you are failed. Yeah, you can have minor faults. Most people have minor faults. I mean, even the last one I passed, I had minor faults. Undue hesitation, you know, when you're just over careful. Because yes, you should be careful, but not over careful. You know, you have checked the road, it is safe, move on. All right, you should not be checking 2, 3, 4 times. You know, check that side, junction checks, you know, move on. They are not expecting you to be, they don't want you to be waiting and because if you do too much too, it's a score. So that's for you to know. If you are too careful, you are marking yourself down, you know, in some beats. And I also heard that if you have like 2 minor faults in a particular category, that's like a major fault. For instance, if you have undue hesitation, maybe twice. I don't know how true that is, but just try not to have them. Okay, and if you do not know how to answer some of the show me tell me questions, is a minor fault. Okay, so because you are supposed to know about your car. Then your major fault, your serious faults, maybe you are not doing your checks, or you are causing other drivers to brake Ashley, sorry, Brackley, did I say that? Or you are causing other drivers to brake Ashley. You know, you are not, or you yourself are braking Ashley because you are not anticipating ahead. Maybe it was until you almost knocked down a woman that you now pressed your brake. Then maybe that one is a serious or dangerous fault. That's up to them, but it's a major fault. Okay, so yeah, so usually people pass because there is no dangerous or serious fault. So just ensure that all these things, make sure that the car is in good condition, you know, your air plates, don't forget, and a mirror. I mean, if you forget a mirror, they should provide you a mirror, but I mean, why not? Just be extra prepared, you know. Yeah, so I think that is really everything I want to share. I hope that this video is informative enough, and I pray for success in your next test. I know how it can be. It is draining, it can be discouraging, but be of good cheer. Be of good cheer, be encouraged, and know that you are not alone. Okay, and when you pass, don't forget to come in the comment section and tell us about what helped you. Okay, and so that we can also rejoice with you. Thank you so much, guys, for stopping by, for waiting till the end of this video. I hope that it was informative enough. And yeah, put congratulations in the comment section for me as well, and for other people who just passed. Okay, celebrate also that you can celebrate it as well. Thank you. Bye.